What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another weekly nerdy news Comically Boston podcast. And today is, of course, Monday, so we are going to be discussing all of last week's nerdy news and what went down and what are some notable things to talk about. So, of course, over the last week, we had finished The Penguin, the finale, all 8 episodes, breakdowns up on the channel now. Go check them out if you haven't. But we ended with our boy Oz. He's got his umbrella cane. He's got his top hat. We never see him put it on, but we see a picture here. He's got it. So maybe in the Batman Part 2, we're going to have a fully fledged penguin. Maybe a monocle. I'm okay with the top hat and umbrella as long as he's still got that cigar. But the big news over the last week, and I couldn't believe nobody saw this when episode 4 came out, because episode 4, Centani, was Sophia's episode, but everyone the whole season was speculating on who Theo Ross's character was, and this image from episode 4 has people losing their mind on the internets. Is that the Scarecrow's claw, thing that he puts into people to interject them with the Scarecrow serum or whatever you want to call it? And is that his mask on the right? Very, very interesting stuff here. And now I almost need to go back to episode 4 to rewatch this just to see if that is actually there and we just missed it, because I definitely missed it, but I think everyone missed it. I didn't see anyone talking about this when the Penguin was going until this last week after the Penguin was already done. So maybe we're gonna get the Scarecrow in Batman 2, or maybe this will be a Theo Ross spin-off show, just like the Penguin got his own villain spin-off show. Maybe the next one will be the Scarecrow, and we'll bring back Sophia. We'll bring back Oz, but not as the main character. And you'll have Theo Rossi here being the Scarecrow. I mean, I could definitely see it. His name as a character was Julian Rush, and normally it's Dr. Crane is the Scarecrow, so I don't think necessarily, but maybe Dr. Rush here will have something to do with the creation of the Scarecrow. I don't know. I would love to see what that means or where that's going, but if you guys haven't, or you did, comment below your thoughts on the Penguin, or message me on my other social medias about the Penguin. I still would love to talk more about how good Colin Farrell was as Oz Cobb. But moving on to the next bit of information, the Oscars this year will not be hosted by Jimmy Kimmel, and they shall be hosted by Conan O'Brien, which some people are like, oh good, this is such an upgrade from Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know if it is, because Jimmy Kimmel has a show right now, so he's still like, he'll say crazy shit, but he's still, dialed back a little bit enough that like he needs to get through the live television broadcast of the Oscars to be able to get back to his show, the following day. Conan O'Brien, it might as well be Ricky Gervais out there. He's gonna walk out there and say crazy shit, and Conan is a little too sporadic for me. Like, he's a little too wild. All of a sudden, if he feels embarrassed or like the joke's not going his way, he leans in hard, and sometimes it makes it really funny, or sometimes you're just like, whoa, this guy is losing it, and I like Conan, but we'll see, I guess, how he does in March for the Oscars. All I'm hoping is that the Oscars do not forget about Dune Part 2. It was too early in the year, everyone's got recency bias. I'm sure Gladiator 2 is going to be phenomenal. I'll tell you, I'm going to see Gladiator 2 on Thursday, so I will let you know for sure my opinion on if Gladiator 2 is better than Dune Part 2, but they're both sequels, so I wouldn't even be surprised if neither of them win Best Picture, right? And they pull a fast one on us and give it to Joker Folia. Dude, fucking A, I would fucking kill myself. Like, that's ridiculous, but enough of the Oscars. We'll talk more about that in March. Also, things we'll be talking about next year in 2025. The Last of Us Season 2 is set to be coming out in the spring. I'm still waiting for a Season 2 trailer, more in-detailed trailer to drop. We only really got like a teaser trailer. Breakdown for that, I believe, is already on the channel. In coming August of next year, August of 2025, we shall be getting Peacemaker Season 2, which is currently filming down in Atlanta, and I believe Superman is all wrapped up in the trailers cut for that, so he might be still editing the movie a bit, but I believe the trailer is ready to go. So anytime now, in the next coming weeks, maybe around Christmas, I'm guessing, James Gunn will probably want to have the Superman trailer playing in theaters over Christmas break. Or at least that's where my mind goes for smart marketing. Like, you want to have people seeing your trailer, not just on your phone, but on a big screen to get in your head, oh, next, whenever, next July, ooh, Superman is going to be huge or whatever, you want to get that in people's head early. Next up, what we're going to talk about is our first little synopsis, reaction, whatever, from director Dan Trachtenberg. And he is the director of Predator Badlands. I believe he was also the director for the movie Prey. But he is now doing the new Predator Badlands, and that is set to come out November 7th of 2025, taking the Blade spot. So Blade is not going to be ready. So Predator Badlands slid in this spot real quick, and it is described that the Predator himself, herself, whatever, the creature, the Predator, is going to be the protagonist of this movie, where normally he's the antagonist, and we have a group of heroes or people that we're following that end up helping, but it seems that this Predator is maybe going to be fighting other Predators, and we're going to be set from the perspective of the Predator. And the quote that Dan Trachtenberg gave was, "The creature is front and center. Leading the charge, he's still badass. But there's something that's there, touches you emotionally too. Creating a character you connect with, but also super intimidated by, has been challenging." So, trying to give the Predator this emotional connection to the people watching, to the audience, and also while still being terrifying, right? And if you see some of these images, I mean, the Predator is a fearsome warrior that you should be fearing. Like, his mouth opens up, he's always got a helmet on, he's got these crazy dreadlocks coming out the back, he's got, he's big, he's muscly, and then he's got like these claws and things that come out of his gauntlets on his forearms that are like weapons. He's got a little arm shoulder cannon that can come out and lock on, like, Predators are freaking sick. They really are. The tech, the mass, the hand-to-hand, but also the weaponry, like, Predators are friggin' sick. So comment below, what are your thoughts on Predator Badlands? Will you be checking that out next November? I know I will be. And apparently there's going to be a second Predator movie as well, so I'm very interested in that. But I believe also coming out in 2025, but this one in particular might be early 2026. I don't have a date for this one, but we know that Gareth Edwards is going to be directing the Jurassic World Rebirth movie. In Jurassic World, of course, we know that trilogy, the Jurassic Park trilogy. So now I believe this is going to be a new trilogy, but still under the World title. But Rebirth, I don't know. All I know is that this guy, Gareth Edwards, had recently just done the movie The Creator with John David Washington, and that movie was really, really good. But the main selling point on that movie was that the CGI and stuff looked incredible, because Gareth Edwards is a visual effects artist. So same along the lines of that Godzilla -1, when the visual effects artist becomes the director, they really understand what the visual effects artists need when they're capturing the shot on camera. So when they get to the point of doing visual effects, they have everything they need, and it ends up looking that much better. So between Gareth Edwards and the guy that directed Godzilla -1, I'm sorry, I wouldn't want to butcher his name. Between those two guys being visual effects artists and leaning into the director's seat now, we're getting some movies that look phenomenal, right? And the Jurassic Park movies have always looked pretty damn good. So having Gareth Edwards slip into Jurassic World here, and the cast that's supposed to be in this, I believe Mahershala Ali, John Bailey, and we have a picture here of Scarlett Johansson in Empire's 2025 preview. She's got like a giant sniper rifle gun, but it looks like it's a needle gun. So maybe she's trying to shoot like a sleeping serum into a dinosaur to get it to go to sleep so that they can care for it. I don't know, that's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing Scarlett Johansson here is playing kind of like a Laura Dern type of character in the Jurassic World realm. But I do love the Jurassic movies, so I will for sure be checking this one out in 2025. Denzel Washington is going to be in Gladiator 2, and he's going to be fantastic in that. But he had recently let slip in an interview that Ryan Coogler is writing a part for him in Black Panther 3. So not only is Denzel Washington now confirmed for Black Panther 3, Black Panther 3 is confirmed, because we didn't think necessarily that that was anywhere soon, and it probably isn't anywhere soon, but we also heard Denzel say that his next performances, and he also said in this one line that he was talking about, he goes, and then I'll retire, and he said that at the end, and everyone was like, Denzel's retiring. He's now since backtracked a little bit and said, hey, I'm not retiring, I just have a plan of what my next shit is. And I believe his plan is to retire from being on camera, and he wants to go behind camera and be a director after all this. And I mean, Denzel Washington, all the roles he's been in, all the movie sets he's been on, you just know he's going to be a phenomenal director. So I can't wait for that stage of his career, and I hope Denzel Washington's with us for a very, 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 very long time. But his next films that he shall be doing is Spike Lee's High and Low, Antoine Fuqua's Hannibal, and Antoine Fuqua is the one that Denzel did the Equalizer movies with. Then he says he's going to be doing an untitled Steve McQueen project, Black Panther 3 with Ryan Coogler, and then he's going to be doing Othello, which I believe is a stage thing, but they're going to be making as a movie. And then he also, I believe, said something about King Lear. He did King Lear when he was like a young guy. Now he's going back to do King Lear on stage, and then he might want to do King Lear as a movie, but that also might not be real. He might have just been kind of saying that as like this is what I want to do next type of thing. But if that's Denzel's next upcoming movies, I'm here for it, man. Like, that looks pretty friggin' awesome, or sounds pretty awesome, in Black Panther 3. So now everyone's been speculating, who is Denzel going to play in Black Panther 3? But moving on to the last bit of Marvel news, ending out today's show. The main cast for Marvel Zombies has been listed as Iman Vellani, so we're going to be getting Miss Marvel, David Harbour, Alexei, Red Guardian, Simu Liu, Shang-Chi in The Legend of the Ten Rings, he's going to be in Marvel Zombies, Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch, Randall Park, which I believe is Jimmy Woo, Florence Pugh, Yelena Belova, Haley Steinfeld as the new Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, Dominique Thorne, Ironheart's going to be in there, and this last one, Todd Williams. I had looked up his name and I didn't recognize him, so I don't know who this guy Todd Williams is going to be playing. But all I know is that he, I think, is a completely new character for this Marvel Zombies thing, and a completely new actor in the Marvel Universe. If I'm mistaken and you guys know what he's voiced or what he plays, Mr. Todd Williams, comment those type of things down below. Maybe he's voicing Zombie Thanos and they couldn't get Josh Brolin to do it? I don't know. I don't think so, but that was just kind of the first brainstorm idea that my mind went to. But also Marvel projects that I'm excited for in the future here. We got 2 new images of Wonder Man. Yahya Abdul-Mateen, he's on in socks here and jeans and a long sleeve t-shirt. And he's talking to Ben Kingsley, Trevor Slattery, and those two are going to be fast friends, and they're out in Hollywood trying to make it as Hollywood stars, I guess. And this has to be a role that he has gotten as Wonder Man. You can tell because there's a sign behind him with a W in the same red glasses on the sign. So he has to be playing a character named Wonder Man. And I'm guessing maybe he'll get powers while he's in character as Wonder Man, and then he'll become Wonder Man, you know, as a hero. But also, little bits of comic book lore have Simon Williams, aka Wonder Man, ends up kinda in a relationship with Wanda. I mean, I like Wanda and Vision, but Vision's kinda white Vision right now. I wouldn't mind seeing Wanda meet little Wonder Man here, but Wanda's also dead. So maybe Wanda comes back in a Wonder Man series? I don't know. 2025, we'll find out. Also, starting January of 2025 shall be the premiere of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, coming out January 29th on Disney+. And I kind of like the title Spider-Man Freshman Year better because it was less words, less wordy. But Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man looks interesting. I don't know if I'm here for the animation style quite yet, but it does look interesting. So you can't, knock it for that. It's just gotta be what it is, Oh, right. The last little bit of news today, and the biggest topic I want to talk about, is Fantastic Four First Steps got its synopsis. And this is how said synopsis reads. It says, Fantastic Four First Steps, set against the vibrant backdrop of the 1960s inspired retro-futuristic world, the Fantastic Four First Steps introduces Marvel's first family: Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, Sue Storm, Invisible Woman, Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, and Ben Grimm, the Thing, as they face their most daunting challenge yet. Forced to balance their roles as heroes with the strength of their family bond, they must defend Earth from a ravenous space god called Galactus, played by Ralph Ineson, and his enigmatic herald, Silver Surfer Julia Gardner. And if Galactus's plan to devour the entire planet and everyone on it weren't bad enough, it suddenly gets very personal. Ooh, very interesting. I had also heard reports that Galactus was sick and he's sending out his herald to find planets so that he can consume them to regain health or something along those lines. If you don't know who Galactus is, he's the giant man here, and the Silver Surfer, of course, is on the Silver Surf board there. We know Norrin Rad as the Silver Surfer. He was a dude that we saw in Chris Evans' Fantastic Four 2, Rise of the Silver Surfer. And this movie, it has Ralph Ineson and Julia Gardner. So we're going to be getting a woman Silver Surfer. And Ralph Ineson was from The Green Knight, and he played the Green Knight, and his voice is so deep that I believe he's going to do a very, very good job as Galactus. But this image keeps floating around from, I believe this is fan-made or computer-generated, but something along these lines happened at like San Diego Comic-Con footage, and you saw Galactus poke his eyes into the Baxter building, and Herbie like freaked out. But here you see, a makeshift version of the Thing, Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, and the Human Torch. I can't wait to see this group together, right? And Ben Grimm's gonna be cousin from the Bear, friggin' Eben Moss Backrack. Like, Eben's phenomenal. I really like Eben. So I can't wait for this. The Fantastic Four First Steps coming out in July, I believe. So we're not even that far away from that, and they're like just finishing shooting that. They only have a couple more weeks of shooting for the Fantastic Four, and they probably have a couple weeks of reshoots, I'm guessing, at some point in between now and July. So yeah, I'm guessing they're going to be finishing Fantastic Four before 2025 closes out, and then early 2025, maybe March, they're going to be doing some reshoots for that, finalize the movie, and then by July it will be coming out. I'm very nervous about that because the CGI and stuff in that movie might need some time, but maybe that stuff's already been in development for so long that this movie is going to make its time frame, but I'm not so sure. But finally, just to close out the show, what have you guys been watching? I would love to know these things down in the comment section below. What kind of TV shows are you watching? I was thinking about getting into Peacock's The Day of the Jackal. That's with Eddie Redmayne, the guy from the Fantastic Beasts movies. I like Eddie Redmayne, so I was thinking about watching that movie. I've been diving into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm into season 2 right now. I've been watching that with Love in the Time of Hydra podcasts on YouTube and all podcast platforms with Jamie Jurack and her boyfriend Tony. And they're great. They're honestly so much fun to watch that show and then go and watch their podcast and like talk more about that episode and get more into it. And it's been getting me so much into the show that now I've caught up to where they're at in the podcast. And I'm like now ahead of them because I had to keep going. The show was in some juicy stuff. I had to see how it ended, you know, I had to keep going. So I'm about to finish season 2, and I think I want to continue on because that show's been really good. But I might stop for a moment, maybe watch some things like White Lotus, maybe watch Jessica Jones, some other things. So if you got some shows that you can recommend to me that you wouldn't mind me watching or talking about on the channel, put those down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you're watching. I watched Dune Prophecy last night, episode 1. I was thinking about covering it for the channel, but at the current moment, I think I'm gonna not. I think I'm just gonna watch it as, you know, my own time. If you want to talk more about Dune Prophecy with me, comment below and maybe I will do a breakdown for episode 2 or something and group both of them together. At the current moment, I didn't see too, like, the Penguin, I could talk about details that I know of the Penguin from the comics and the Batman movie and go back and forth. This doesn't seem to have any connections really at all to the Denis Villeneuve Dune universe, other than the fact that it's set 10,000 years before that happens. But I don't know. If Denis had a direct hand in this show, maybe I would think differently about it. It also is strange that they're coming off of a show like The Penguin for HBO, and then directly the week after dropping another show starts. So I don't know, man. I really don't know how this Dune Prophecy is going to rub me by the end of the season. But first episode, it was good enough that I want to watch the second one, but not good enough that I wanted to cover it for the channel. You know what I mean? But thank you guys so much. If you've made it this far in the video, I really, really appreciate you. You guys are what makes this channel work, and you guys have been giving me watch time if you've made it this far in the video, so you're a legend. I fucking love you. You won't comment on the video anyways, so why even say it? So don't comment below because you won't anyways. One person will like this video, and if you're that one guy that likes every video, I love you, but you won't like this because you're lazy or whatever. But hey, if you watch this, I still love you, and I encourage you, if you'd like to follow me on my other social medias, links for all those down in the description below. If you do want to support me and support the channel, the best way to do that is liking every video, commenting on every video, hitting that bell so you don't miss every video. And that's it for me. I'll see you guys in the next video. My name is Big Cam. Thank you guys so much for coming on by, and I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Peace.